Randy's getting himself all caught up in all those fields. It's looking good. He's clearing those weeds and he's having a great time. But he can't forget about those chickens. He's got one small little field. Let's get it caught up too, shall we? Oh yeah, this is episode 41 of Eurovian Farms. What's going on, everyone? Dirty Randy here. I'm just gonna feed the dog, as we do. But, before we get too much further, we're gonna hop on and get something ordered and hopefully have the shop deliver it for us so we don't have to drive down there. Alright, what are we looking at here? We need to get rid of some weeds, so we're going to do just that. Weeders, we need the hoe. Yes, sir. There we go. Lease this for the day, 2,600. Boom, boom, boom. And they'll get it delivered for us. We're going to make up some coffee. And it should be here in no time. Alright, alright, alright. Well, I think I'm tempted. We haven't used... Come on, let's close this. There we go. There we go. There we go. Alright. We're going to throw the narrow tires on here. RQ. And then we're going to use this bad boy to pull out some weeds. We haven't used them in a little while. What's the harm, right? Oh, looking good, bud. Alright. We'll squeeze back on out of here. Original Dirt Daddy. And, we can set off. Got him to drop her off. Just right here for us. I guess the other direction would have been preferable. But, hey. Beggars can't be choosers. I will take it. I will take it. This is going to save us a lot of time. We'll probably be done a good chunk of the field by the time, it would take us to get into town, pick this guy up, and drive back. So that is a big help for sure. Because once we're done, I would love to get some more crop in the ground. And, instead of waiting until we can plant, barley or wheat or something like that, I think, we're just going to go ahead and put some sorghum in the ground. Because, it was basically just for our chickens. And they can take sorghum. We can plant that right now. And then we're just in a good spot. We don't need to kind of have our field sitting, waiting around for a few more months. Just empty. And we'll have crop growing sooner than later. Because sorghum, we can plant it this year and we can harvest it this year rather, whereas wheat and barley, we can't plant that for still a few more months, and then even so we can't harvest it until a full growth cycle, which is a full year away after that. So we'd be looking at least almost a year and a half till we actually would get any wheat or barley, whereas sorghum we can top up probably by the time we'd be running out of any of our barley that we do have. We still have, maybe 5,000 or so liters left of that. So we will do our best. Looks so much better getting these guys picked out of the ground than just having them all sit around withered like in our other field there. But what can you do? I'm tempted to see if when they're withered, if you went over it with a hoe, if you could pull them out. I don't know. If we can get all of our fields that we need to done that actually have growing weeds in them, then perhaps we'll try it out. We do have still next month, if we really needed to get some sorghum planted in the ground, but I feel pretty confident we can get that done today. And we do have a seeder to do that, so we wouldn't need to go lease anything else. Probably just want to drop off our unhook, I suppose, just our big sprayer unit there, but that's okay. We could always hook that up to the Renault, no problem, if we wanted to, whereas our seeder can pretty much only be ran by our McCormick because it's a pretty big combo there. So I'm enjoying being out on this Fiat, though. This is nice, a little open cab action. It's a nice day. It's springtime, and we're not doing anything that's too crazy dusty or anything like that. Considering crop is in the ground, that kind of keeps that at bay a little bit. And we can just run along here. get her all done, get all these weeds picked out, get our field just looking so much better. So nice looking behind, seeing those clean rows as opposed to it just looks so busy and full and messy when there's all these weeds in the ground. So definitely satisfying to take them out when we can, if we can hit that window. Just wish there was perhaps a few more options for hose and stuff like that, but I mean, don't we all? Alright, that's looking pretty good. Much better than it was, that's for sure. Alright, we can definitely squeeze through here. And I think, well, maybe... Oh, I forgot there's a bunch of big old logs here. Alright, we're good, we're good. Get her unfolded, and I think we'll just do a little strip for ourselves this way. Shouldn't take very long. Oh, is that even wide enough? I thought we would be in the clear for sure. Alright, that should be alright. Should be just dandy. And then we will get this field done. We have 2 others to go after this. But, you know, we're coming along pretty well. It's springtime. The days are getting longer. So we should have more than enough time to get her done. We were up nice and early, which is always helpful. Maximize your day and make sure you can get done everything you can, and that's just really been a help. Getting rid of these weeds makes things so much better. And of course, we're all caught up with fertilizer, so that's great. And we're looking pretty good for these guys to get sprayed along with all of our canola whenever we can get a window to kind of do that. I think for now, though, we're for sure just going to keep getting these weeds out of here. And who knows, maybe by the 3rd or 4th field, we'll get some help for that one if we want, and we can switch over to something else. But really, planting our sorghum is not going to take that long. We have this tiny little field to do, so that's not too bad. And I suppose we should maybe even think about investing in this fine piece of machinery that we're using right now, because if we have it, that means we can use it regularly, and we don't need to go rent one every time and take some more fees on that, which always kind of helps. Eventually will pay for itself in that sense. So let's get to it. We got this field and the one behind us there as well. Really, this one and the other one shouldn't take too long. Nice wide piece of kit here, and these nice narrow fields means 3 or 4 passes for the most part, and they're all good. So let's get to it. Rand, you've been talking lots. No, I don't know. Probably not. I feel like maybe less than usual because we kind of just jumping right into this field work. But either way, hey, the man knows what we gotta get done, so we're doing just that. And I'm enjoying using this older tractor. Enjoy looking good. We're getting rid of, I'd say, 98% of the weeds. We might have a couple little missed patches here and there, but I mean, what can you do? I mean, you could check and just double check and make sure you get them all. Then you can definitely do that. But equally, you can just wing it and see how you go. No, but for real, we do a pretty good job. You know what I mean? All right, that's looking pretty good, and I think we got, like I said, 99% of them. But I did notice one little strip up on our first big square field that I missed. So I don't know how I did that, but that's okay. It happens. We'll go clean it up real quick before we drop this guy off. That way it's just over and done and dealt with, and then we can probably just shift our head into getting this field right beside us here to the left, planted with some sorghum. That way our chickens have some new, I guess, food source to look forward to, a different type, something other than the wheat and barley they've been having. But hey, they're not too picky. I'm thankful they have a couple options. Otherwise, like I said, we'd probably be waiting over a year and a half roughly until they have some more feed. That we didn't have to buy, of course, because we wouldn't let them starve. We wouldn't do them like that. But we're in a pretty good spot right now. So before I lose myself in thought here, let's just finish up that little spot like we were planning. Let's see if we can scope it out. I think it's somewhere in the middle here. Kind of tough to see sometimes. Looks like right here there are. Alright, let's throw this down. And the far left side is grabbing them just barely. We could have gone a little bit closer to them, I suppose, but as long as we stay in our lane here, we should scoop them up. And I'm not sure if there's any more. I'm pretty sure this is the last of it, so that's pretty good. And, you know, it might have been a slower job, but that's okay. We got it all done nonetheless. Alright, and our last little strip right here, you can see we're pretty much dead center with them. And we'll get them scooped out of there, looking good. And this is the last of all of our weeds. You'll love to see it. You really do. You really do. It's a wonderful day out. And, you know, I like that we've gotten rid of a bunch of the big trees, kind of clearing the landscape, and we have some smaller ones now. They look nice, and you know, I feel like it just opens up the area. You know, you can see the mountains a little bit nicer now, and of course our fields are a lot bigger as a result. So there you go. We're gonna just go drop this off where the shop left it for us. Just gotta pick her up. There we go. Looking just dandy. And, you know, yeah, I didn't try and pull out the ones in that were kind of withered in the field there. I figured, you know, the canola's pretty grown in. I wouldn't really want to go through the lane. There's not really clear lanes like there are with the sunflowers there, so I think we kind of missed our window to do that. But that's all right. They're not growing anymore, so it's not the end of the world. We'll pull this guy in here. Done a fantastic job. Thank you, sir. This big Nelly. Let's just drop off our sprayer, I think. Doesn't have to go anywhere too crazy. I think just something like that is probably more than fine. And we do get to drop off our weight as well, because we got to pick up a front and back for our cedar. There we go, looking good. Whoa, Nelly, there we go. So, this back part here, I think we usually want to put the front on first, otherwise the back is real heavy. So, still awesome how well this fits in here. I love it. Close this back up. There we go. And we can get turned around. How are we looking in here even for seed? Looks like there is a fair bit. And of course the field that we're going to go for is pretty small, so we shouldn't really need to add any more into it. So there we go. We'll fold her up there as well. And do a little 2-point turnage. And we're looking good. Try and avoid our sunflowers just up the hill. Alright, that's looking good. Oh my gosh, unless we oversteer into the fence. There we go. That's looking good. And we'll make sure, of course, that we are going to throw down sorghum, and we're not trying to plant anything else goofy. Alright, not a far drive at all. And we're looking good. Boom. Unfolded. Turned on. And we're planting just like that. More seeds in the ground. There we go. So I'm glad I got this field actually prepped instead of just kind of ignoring it and saying whatever, leave it for later. So I will take that. Probably not going to have like a massive yield out of here, but we don't really need a massive yield, honestly. Like a few thousand liters will do, especially if we can get her done and harvested this year and kind of continue on that trend. You know, maybe we'll rotate fields around every so years and just have something going for the chickens in some of them, and make sure that we're changing stuff up. That way we're not always planting the same thing in the same soil. You know, we want it to stay fresh and make sure there's nice good nutrients in there for when we are planting stuff and get a nice good yield out of it. This field already almost finished, so you'll love to see it. We're just plugging along, and you know, a few more passes here and we'll be all finished up with this. I suppose, you know, we already got fertilizer on the gator, so we could just let her rip there, and again, this thing is good to go. And you know what, maybe we don't even return the weeder, because we're probably just going to need it next month on this field, and we can just take care of it then. I don't know if we'd be able to use it right now. I'm curious. Maybe we could try, but I feel like that'd be pretty early. But you never know. Those weeds they're pesky. They grow pretty darn quick. So they usually grow out of their small stage where we can actually use smaller and bigger weeder just off the bat. So like we can never catch it in that, because it's got to be done pretty soon after it's planted, just with how fast they grow. So, you know, who knows? Maybe we can get rid of them with that guy right now. So I think that's literally all we got to do as far as this field there, which is just fantastic. So I think, you know, yeah, maybe we will hop on the gator, give this guy just, you know, a little bit more time to grow the weeds as well. That way there's actually something maybe to actually pull out of there. And we'll go put this away. Done a fantastic job. Nice and quick. That's the way we like it. And we can kind of keep going on. It's like, you know, we didn't really have to go out of our way too much at all to get that job finished, which is nice. Dip this guy back in here. It's kind of unfortunate you got on folder to drop it off. I don't know what that's about, but either way, it fits in here like an absolute champ. Alright, there we go. Bing bang boom, all packed away. Until next time. McCormick, you've done absolutely wonderful as well, as it should. Just got $5,000 worth of tune-ups done to it just the other month. So we'll just pull this big boy in here, and it'll be ready to go for spraying or whatever else comes our way next. And again, this fertilizer should last us no problem for this field that we just planted. Get that guy all caught up, and all of our weeds are gone, except for, of course, we're going to try and maybe scoop out the weeds if we can from this sorghum field. We'll see how that works. If not, we'll just hang on to them for a night and take another little hit for how much we got to pay to keep them, but that'll still be cheaper, of course, than just leasing it another day. And of course, just even the diesel to get it to the shop and back saves us a trip. So that's looking good. Nice and easy to tell where we have and haven't been. 3 passes and we're laughing. A little deer on deer action here. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it, bud. Oh my, getting a little trigger happy. There we go. We may have just missed a corner there, but we'll go back and double check. We got to go back that way anyways. And just like that, fertilized, looking good, and we're laughing. It's like this took us barely, it felt like no time at all to get that done. So there you go. Grapes are starting to grow. It's fantastic. Sunflowers are going. Canola's going. Sorghum going. Weeds gone. They're gone. Oh, all right, there we go. Navigate. Find your home. There we go. Wonderful. Barely had to give it any gas, just rode momentum all the way down the hill. So, I suppose we don't actually have to do it with the narrow tires, considering, you know, there's the crops like just went in the ground. So I think we'll just fire up the McCormick again, and it should get it done omega quick. That way, if we do have to do it again, it's, you know, hopefully a little bit less time gets wasted there. So, okay, we'll need to turn around here again. That's alright. There we go. Fingers crossed this will do the job. If not, hey, something new we learned today, which is also a good thing. So I'll take that. Alright. Scoot through here. Certainly not going to try and get rid of the withered crops in our canola field in this guy, because the tires would just squash any crops we did have, even if it did work. But I have a feeling this would probably just rip up anything we had in there as far as crop goes. So yeah, we're just going to leave it at that. I think we'll maybe just go this way. That way we don't have to plunge into the trees as deep. And hopefully this works. I have no idea. We're going to go over the whole field, and we'll see the results tomorrow if we have weeds coming up or not. So that's kind of the game plan there. We gave ourselves a little bit of room to turn around. This is just going to be a 3-pass banger, and we are finished up. I suppose we'll hold on to this just in case, you know, worst case we got to use it again, and we just pay a little bit more for leasing costs, but that's all right. I think it was $2,400. Don't think, well, you know, honestly, we might be pretty close to an hour used on this guy, but that's okay too. You know, it's relatively not that expensive in comparison to some of our other costs around here, especially for equipment. So hard to tell if it's you know, getting them or not, because if they are in there right now, they're very tiny little weeds, but that's all right. Finish up here and one more down the middle, and then we'll probably, I don't know, see what else we have left for the day. I mean, we got rid of all the weeds in our sunflower fields, so that's great. We've gotten fertilizer down and sorghum planted here. Hopefully the weeds gone too. If not, we'll get her done tomorrow. Not a problem. We got to spray everything, so that's on the agenda, but thankfully we already got a lot of liquid fertilizer in the tank ready to rock there, so that's also not a problem. And then spraying down the vineyards too, I suppose. So that should be all as far as getting rid of the weeds for today. Like I said, you know, a little iffy on whether or not that had any effect on that field yet. It might have been a little bit too early, but hopefully it was not. And we'll probably just hang out with this guy on here, you know. Well, I don't know. I'm back and forth. We'll maybe just drop it off right here. That way, if we don't need it, it's in a good spot for the shop to come grab it. If we do need it, it's in a good spot to come grab it. So that's wonderful. What's up, dog? He's probably hungry. So, McCormick, there you go, buds. You can go back in there. Looking good. All right, well, you know, it's about 2 o'clock, so I think we might have some more time if we wanted to bust out that sprayer. I don't see why not, you know. I think with how big it is, we can probably get that done today. And then all of our fields are looking just mighty fine. We got the row crops on here already. You know, I'm tempted to put a mask on. You know, do we have one of our other tractors? Can we put narrow tires on? I think we may have in the past, but this can get the job done. This is as heavy as it's going to get, but I think, like I said, we might go find a change of clothes, RQ. But hey, you know what? That looks just like mighty fine right there. I don't know. Looking good, bud. All right, I'm feeling a little bit better wearing this, so you know, let's head out Heisenberg style. Let's get these fields sprayed, shall we? And if we can get that done, you know, we're just really in a good spot, you know. I think at that point we're basically just waiting for the money to roll in and you know, harvest season to come around. I guess, you know, we still need to spray the vineyards. That's we're no way we're going to be able to get that done today as well. But if we can get this done, these fields, the vineyards are a pretty big job themselves. So that if we can just focus on those and all these fields are done, then we're laughing. So look at that, you know. Hey, feeling good, looking good, and we're off. You know, should not take us very long at all. We got the hazmat suit on, and we're going to attack this field. Let's see. If we cut over there, we should be pretty decent, and we make it by that little leg. And I think from this point, we can hit the whole rest of this field. Maybe not quite the whole end here, but pretty dang close. Once we do that, we can kind of just scoop-de-whoop this way and head back down. I suppose we don't... Well, you know, we do actually need it on maximum length once we go back in here. And I think I don't know, do we have to even do a strip down the middle? It's been a little while, but I feel like with this width, we are reaching the middle of the field. So, you know, if we did that on the other side too, I feel like there is a bit of an overlap there. So that's just fantastic. Pretty much one lap up and down, bing bang bong. Well, not even bing bang bong, just bing bang. Two, up down, that's it. So there you go. Takes us just as much time to unfold this guy to move into our next field here as it does to actually spray the fields down. You know what I'm saying? No, but we do have actually a fair bit of fields to get done. All these sunflower fields and our canola, we do have a lot of fields to do. So getting a head start on them definitely doesn't hurt, especially when we would like to spray our vineyards as well. The sooner we can get it all done, the better. You know what I'm saying? I did not mean to drop it down. I wanted to unfold it again. There we go. So, that's the game plan. We're going to keep at it. If we don't quite get all the way, that's fine. I just really don't want to keep hitting the trees if everything's not 100% along there. That's, you know, that's fine by Randy. That's why we got bigger fields. Call it a buffer zone. I don't know. That's alright. We'll stick in this lane. I suppose doing this is probably easier than ever to make sure we stay straight, because there's actual rows of crop for us to stay down. And that's what we're doing. So if we just moved over a row, you'd think we'd be fine. But either way, I don't even know. What's the point? We're fine. We're good. We're laughing. Let's get it done. You know, maybe we, depending on time, let's get the sunflowers done at the very least. And then the canola, if we can't get all of that done today, that's fine. But I think we might be able to, you know? Alright. That should be pretty decent. We'll take it. This is the row I'm going with. Turning around at the other end is not easy as well. That's for sure. There's just lots of trees and the fence there. So, what can you do? We'll probably just get as close as we need to and then back it up, do kind of the headland strip, and then we can finish up the last 2 or 3 passes perhaps and continue on, see where we're at for daytime. We're gonna just bop into the fence with our front weight here. And we're good. There we go. Turn off that spray. We'll line up something like that. We'll overspray just a little bit. That's fine. But we're looking pretty good. We get this done. We already got that other power line field done. And if we can get, well, the one in between that and our other big field is definitely another 2-pass contender. So that's not an issue. And then after that, yeah, that last big field, for sunflowers at least. There are still some canola, which they aren't really massive fields. We probably could get them done while we're out here, but just kind of depends on daylight. We don't have a lot of lights on this tractor, so hopefully we can get her done. We're already out here. That's half the battle. We've been pretty effective with our time as of late, so I will take it. We'll keep burning this diesel, and while we're burning sunlight, while we're burning plant chemicals. Alright, well, of course we ran out, but hey, what can you do? That got us pretty far, to be honest with you. I will take that. So, we're going to load her back up with some more fertilizer, because that's what we're going for here. I'm not sure if we'll get to the rest of it today, because we still have a lot of fields to get done. We got almost all of our sunflower fields, 3 of the 4 done, so that's awesome. We got 1 canola field done, part of another one, and there are still, you know, pretty much 4 more of those fields left to get done, and another sunflower field. So it's still a fair bit of spraying to do, which is not a problem. Oh, I could not make that turn. But it's more work than we can squeeze in today. And of course, there is still more spraying to get done with our vineyards too. So more work to get done in general. But we're set up for, you know, a pretty good year so far, because that's pretty much all that's left to maintain our fields for this year that I can think of. You know, we didn't get a chance to roll or anything like that, but that's okay, you know. We're going to strip down out of this suit. We'll get the dog fed there. But, yeah, we need to hop in the shower, because we're feeling pretty gross. My head is sticky, which I'm not a fan of. So, we're going to go ahead and deal with that. But, you know, that's going to have to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, well, we'll see you in the next one, all right? You take care, okay? All right. Oh, my gosh. Barbecue. Bye-bye.